Hello and welcome to Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend. I'm Carrie Moore.
And I'm Kelly Padden.
We're back after our Easter vacation. Coming up on today's show, we have our guest this week, Dana Martin from Heather's Hope Chest.
Fantastic. And Emily Hamel from Chilliwack Cultural Centre is going to be doing an interview to discuss the Chilliwack Players Guild production of Matilda, which premiered just last night.
Yes, amazing. We also have a job shadow student, 16-year-old Nicholas Chester, in for an interview. It was really interesting. And he's going to showcase a little project he created just for us at Daybreak.
Oh, that's fantastic. We'll also have the news roundup from the Valley this week and, of course, our picks for what to do this weekend.
All this coming up on Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend.
All right, welcome back. And before we jump right into the news, we had a little bit of a break.
We did.
What did you get up to?
I got up to a lot, and both of us were doing a bunch of interviews, so it wasn't like we were taking a big break. That was amazing. I had a fun weekend because it was my twins' first Easter, and beautiful weather. I heard you did some gardening.
I did, but I have to say I saw the pictures of the twins.
They're
Adorable.
Yeah.
I did some gardening, did less of the Easter thing. My kids were sending me those TikTok videos where...
What do you mean I don't get candy?
A grown woman who's like, my mom said I don't love her anymore, or she doesn't love me anymore.
She says, well, that didn't mean you didn't get candy.
Yeah, but I got to do some interviews with the candidates in the election. So Daybreak is not a political show, but if you haven't checked out the interviews, make sure you check them out.
Yeah.
And seeing if I can grow things
Giving it a try.
Yeah, humans. Cool. So
to the news.
Yeah, to the news. So first thing, sad?
International, sad, very sad. The Pope passed away.
He did.
And I'm not Catholic, but he was an amazing human in general.
Yeah, so I mean, this Pope was known for being a little bit more progressive. I know there was a delegation, including from right here in the Fraser Valley, of Indigenous leaders who went over around the conversation of reconciliation in residential schools. And the Pope, spoke really passionately and emotionally about the realities of residential schools and the impact that they've had. So there's that link right here at home, as well as millions and millions and millions of Catholics around the world who are mourning right now, and who will be watching when, conclave starts and a new Pope is selected. Yeah. So condolences. The fact that it's Easter weekend was...
And he said his whole sermon and everything. That was amazing.
That was, it's a little gift at the end there, right?
Yeah.
So, nationally, the election's coming up.
Yeah, and you're right in it.
I'm right in it. I'm right involved. We have those candidate interviews. The Chamber of Commerce has a video with the candidate forum here locally in Chilliwack. There was a mission one as well for Abbotsford Mission area.
Advanced polling, was it popular?
Oh my goodness.
A lot of my friends had gone.
I think it was over 7 million people voted this weekend.
But not in the Valley.
Well, not in the Valley.
No. But that's a lot.
Nationally, that is record-breaking.
Good.
So
now we need another 7 million to go out and vote.
We do. Yeah. If you haven't voted, Monday is election day.
Yes.
Make sure you get out. Get
your
plan
card,
to vote.
Bring it in. Yeah. From 8 to 8, right?
I believe so. Yeah. And if you don't have your card, you can still vote. So make sure you make a plan to vote. Even if you're just taking a little bit of time this weekend to figure out where am I going, what time, who are the 3 people I'm bringing with me who don't normally vote. And,
yes, that's a good idea.
If you're a first-time voter, share it.
Yes. Yeah. All over social media. You went, you did it. We don't even care who you vote for. We do care. But just do it.
Voting
because
is
it's so
critical.
Amazing. And then you can actually have it invested in the game, right? Like you can't complain about what politics is happening if you haven't voted.
But you do.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Locally,
yeah,
our YMCA has requested an additional $37,000 a month in increased funding to run their centers. So they run the Shim Center, the Y, and the Leisure Center, and the Rotary Pool.
Yeah, so, it's a great resource to have. I remember when the contract was originally issued, they came in really under everyone at like 10 million, even with the 37,000 monthly cost. It'll would still be less than what it was. But what's the extra money for? Things like those
more
extra programming, those extra lifeguards. Remember, I was MLA when the lifeguard crisis was happening. There were no lifeguards anywhere because there was no training done during COVID.
Yeah.
So
And they didn't get paid very well. Like, pay your lifeguards.
So, I mean, it should be interesting, but I know these centers are important in our community, not only to seniors and young people, but even just to the general health of the community and healthy community.
And it brings tourism too. It's like some of those are really cool. Like the wave pool, people come here to go to the wave pool.
Is cool. Yeah. All right. In Hope.
There's
More politics.
Yes.
There's a by-election. The Hope Standard actually published, shout out to the Hope Standard because this was great, published questions and answers from all of the candidates for council. So be sure to check it out. It's a couple of days, I think, before, just a handful of days.
I think Saturday's the vote.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So people in Hope got to vote twice.
Yeah, maybe a little voter fatigue, but do it. It's worth it. Every level of government is responsible for something different. Make sure you go and you vote.
Yeah. And be knowledgeable about what each level does. There's nothing worse than people slamming one particular level on social media when you're like, that's not not municipal.
That never
That's
happens.
more federal.
That never happens.
I have bad feeds, apparently.
No, I'm just joking. It happens all the time.
Okay. Langley Man is running a 21-day against cancer run this summer.
Yes.
Yes.
So a teacher, we love our teachers. I think he teaches PE. Maybe I wasn't so great in that class. But he's going to be running 2 marathons a day. For 21 days.
Terry Fox really inspired him. So, yeah.
Well, and I know he's lost a lot of family to cancer. And so he's really making this, it's personal, but it's also for all of us. So support him if you can. I know he's encouraging people to run a distance with him if they feel so inspired. So, check that out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right after the break, our guest this week is going to be Dana Martin from Heather's Hope Chest. All right. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now on the show, I have a very special guest and friend of mine, Dana Martin, who is got a lot of passionate things in her life right now. And so, Dana, would you like to tell us a little bit about, first about you? What was your career and why are you involved in what you do?
I'm a clinical counselor. Worked for Fraser Health for a number of years as a concurrent disorders therapist. I decided to take early retirement and move out here, away from the city.
All the way to Agassiz.
Yes, all the way to Agassiz, and I don't know. I think the farms is where I should have been all my life, right? Because it's so beautiful. And I don't know if everybody knows what the Agassiz is famous for. It's the 3 C's: cows, corn, and cranberries. Oh, that's what we have out there. But that's my career. That was what I did. I still am doing just a little bit of work in that I do a program called the Relationship Violence Program, or now called the Respectful Relationship Program. And this is for men who've been convicted of assaulting their partners. And this is a program to help them, learn
a few things,
live a better life, less, violence-free, all that sort of thing, right?
That sounds like very serious stuff. So what do you do for fun?
What I do for fun?
Yes.
Oof. Well, I tell you, I'll save the best for the last.
Okay.
I'll save the best for last. What I do for fun is I like to bake bread. And
I like to eat bread.
Sourdough bread too.
Yeah, sourdough is my thing. But I'll try any kind of bread, right? And I have a following on Facebook who religiously wait for what's the next thing. And I post,
learn about the ears and the stuff flowing.
See,
and
there we go. Yes. And
very high tech.
I post my disasters because I'm not. I've had some doozies and all of that. But then in the other part of my life, I'm a volunteer. And
super volunteer.
And my volunteer organization of choice is Soroptomist. And so I'm a member of Soroptomist International of Chilliwack.
As am I.
Yes. That's and actually Cari and I knew each other long before that. I've been a member of Soroptomist for 20 years.
Wow. Yep. And you're not just a member, You were also the governor of the Western Canada region for a while, and you did some stuff at the higher level of Soroptomist International of the Americas.
Yeah.
So you really know the organization.
I was elected to that board, which was an incredible thing. I was so grateful for that experience. And I've been the conference chair for the region. I helped out on another project as the doing social media for the President's Appeal, we call that, for the head organization.
And just to back up a little bit, Soroptomist is a
Volunteer organization that is our thing is to empower women and girls through access to education.
yes,
And
it's worldwide.
Yeah, we're all over the world. So
We actually have a voice at the United Nations.
we have status at the UN.
That's fantastic.
I know.
cool. Yeah.
It is very, very cool. It is very, very cool. But here's the thing: when I moved here, Chilliwack was looking for a project, and they asked me, super flattered, right? They asked me, and I said,
Come up
"Well,
with something."
actually,
Yeah.
yes, I think I have an idea." And from all of we had a gathering with all of us, and from that, Heather's Hope Chest was born.
It was.
Yes.
Heather, because at the time,
Yes.
our longest standing and still is
Yep.
member.
Heather was our longest standing member. Our favorite story about that is we're driving in the car and we're going into Vancouver, and we're going to visit another project that's like ours called Bee's Closet in the Tri-Cities. And Heather's driving, and she says, Dana, you know what? I have been thinking about, what we could call the closet at that time. And I said, oh yeah. And she spiels off all these names. Now in the car, everybody's giving me the
The
side.
look, because we all knew we already had a logo.
Yeah. we had this secret meeting and
it
decided
Heather's.
to name it after her
Yeah.
as our longest standing member in that. So yeah.
So what is Heather's Hope Chest? Yeah. It's amazing.
It's an amazing, super biased, but it truly is. It's an amazing program. It's a free store for women and girls who are transitioning from something, perhaps domestic violence, substance abuse, foster care, homelessness. Any transition situation. And what we do is we provide them with everything they need for their kitchen, bedding, and bathroom supplies like towels and everything like that.
Pretty much no furniture.
Wow. So for like their new home.
For their new home.
Okay.
Yeah. And what makes this project even more special, though, is that we ask people to donate this to us, all these supplies.
And then we store them.
Yeah. So people in Chilliwack are so very generous. And they donate beautiful, beautiful things to us, right? We do ask that it's very gently used, right? But that hasn't been an issue for us.
No.
And when we make the call, people show up and they donate all of the stuff that we need, right?
Yeah.
Everything that we need. The thing about the Hope Chest that kind of, is different is it's not like a walk-in store per se, like a street front store. It's actually in a storage locker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does, but then sometimes the clients think, oh, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Going through boxes, finding their stuff. But it's so cool.
Yeah, but when so when a client comes, clients have to be referred to us
By who?
by community partners that are in Chilliwack.
And so we have Agassiz and Hope.
Yes, Agassiz, Hope, all the whole area there, and these folks refer this person to us, and when we set up an appointment for the individual to come and shop, only one at a time, one person. She's the only one that comes with her support worker. And we ask that the support worker come with them because they offer, they see this storage locker, and they're kind of like,
It can be overwhelming, and especially if you're already in transition.
exactly. And it is overwhelming because they're not really often very sure what is going to happen here today, right? But all that changes when we roll up the door for our main locker that has the little store in it. And they stand there and they're like,
Yeah, it's amazing.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my, it's
For me?
It's so nice. And it's all laid out in sections. It's beautifully arranged,
And then they start I just need one glass.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, you might have friends over. Maybe take 4.
Maybe you need
yeah.
4,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
And so, this person, this is where I always say that it's inside the hope chest. That's where the magic happens. Something magical happens in that moment, that we take this individual that was very shy or uncertain or anything like that. And as they start to choose all the things that they need for their house, their head comes up, their shoulders start to come up, and they start to smile, and their confidence is improved, and they leave literally with a cart full of supplies. I mean,
Yeah.
name it. Yeah. And that's where it's magical.
Yeah.
And it's changing lives.
So there's people watching who might be clients at some point,
Yep.
or who might want to donate. So how do people find Heather's Hope Chest?
You can find us on Facebook, Heather's Hope Chest, and Instagram. We have a pretty good following on there. We have donation days, which we will always post on Facebook. And that's where we make the call that people can come, up to the storage locker and drop off their items. People can also email us. Sometimes people are moving, their mom or their dad has to downsize, and we can make arrangements to maybe pick up some of the stuff, do it that way. But people can also donate cash. Right? We do accept, we're very grateful for cash donations because we do have expenses that we have to pay.
And we don't give away used pillows.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the buying power when you're making larger purchases and when you have different community partners, we know that with the food bank as well, cash donations go a long way.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. Yeah. So that's how, we do it. Last year, can I talk about our best day ever?
Sure.
Okay. So last year we had our regular donation day, and we had decided that we were going to have one every month. Okay, we thought we need to be regular because people write all the time and say, when's your donation day? And we thought we need to do this regularly. So we had it that one month, and it was unbelievable. It was the most stuff we have ever received. Yeah. We have another storage locker right next to the Hope Chest, and it was full right to the doors, right? Because we couldn't unpack it all that day. So we got that all unpacked, and then we thought, we were talking and said, well, should we have another one? And I said,
where are we going to put it?
I said, well, you know what? What are the odds that this would happen again?
Chilliwack's pretty generous.
And we're like, oh my gosh. I mean, what a terrible problem to have, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, everybody just showered us with goodness and that. So we don't have them every month now, right? It's just too much.
You just reminded me, speaking of showers.
Oh,
What's
yes.
happening?
Well, for everybody that's out there, I'm going to go out on a limb. I could be wrong, but I think what I'm going to announce, I'm not sure it's ever happened in Chilliwack before.
Okay.
What are we doing?
We love an exclusive.
Okay, it is. It's because it's going to drop tomorrow on Facebook. It's set to go. So on June the 7th, we are going to hold a community kitchen shower. The United Church women approached us and wanted to help out Heather's Hope Chest, and this is what they came up with. We will be helping them there. So, what is a community kitchen shower? Well, we're inviting the Chilliwack community to come to this shower and asking them if you could bring a gift.
Like you would.
Any
shower.
Any shower. And you know what? When you come inside, it's going to be like any other shower you've been to, maybe a wedding shower or a baby shower. There's going to be little finger foods. There's going to be games to play, lots of stuff, maybe even entertainment. Not sure. I think there might be entertainment. But that is what is going to happen. So the community kitchen shower is June the 7th at the Carmen United Church, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Amazing.
Free.
That's fantastic. And so when you say it's a kitchen shower, does that mean people should bring things for a kitchen?
Just for the kitchen.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's such a great idea, and we're extremely excited that this is going to happen. So yeah. Register on Eventbrite. That's where the registration will be on Event. Just to RSVP, so we have enough food for everybody.
That sounds fantastic. All right, so exclusive. You know what you're doing on June 7th. You are dropping off a kitchen gift. at a community kitchen shower. So who doesn't like a party?
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here and for sharing all of that about yourself as well as Heather's Hope Chest. Really, really great initiative happening here in Chilliwack. And I'm going to follow you on social so that I can get an idea of the feel for people who aren't already familiar with it. Make sure you check that out. We have, after the break, 2 interviews. One with Emily Hamel of the Chilliwack Cultural Centre, and the second, we get to meet Nicholas, who did a job shadow here with chillTV last week and produced his own featurette. So that's all coming up, as well as our picks for events not to miss this weekend in the Fraser Valley.
Thanks for being with us, Dana.
Thanks for having me.
Hello, and today I am so excited to be interviewing Emily Hamel, the director of Matilda from the Chilliwack Players Guild. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to go see this show, but before we talk about that, let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
How long have you been directing for?
Directing, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I can pinpoint like a year on it. The first show I did was like a little show in the old lounge at the old
that is
Arts
a long
Center.
time ago. Yeah.
Yes, so that
You don't
kind
look
of
that old.
No, thank you. But yeah, it was like a bunch of monologues and things all put together, and then from there on, I directed Sabrina Fair. After that, this would have been mid 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I started directing. And I've done a variety of different things since then, and yeah, this is my latest one.
And do you
Matilda.
enjoy directing more than acting?
They're different.
Yeah.
Like when you're acting, it's like your body is your instrument. When you're directing, it's like all these people.
And all the things going on.
Yeah, and like the decisions that you have to make too. Like down almost every little decision on stage has been run by me.
Yeah.
Like as to like what color do you want this pencil to be, that kind of thing. So sometimes you have to stop and be like,
I don't care, just do it.
But it's really cool to have like a team that's that dedicated to running all those things by me, and it's nice to not have to do with them all. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are helping out.
So the Players Guild, do they normally do children's things, or is this something new they're going into?
So this is I think the last sort of kids oriented one they did was a Snow White pantomime, probably. They haven't done a musical since they did Gypsy like years ago. Yeah. So I'm hoping they're going to try and bring back doing a musical every couple of years, because they're really cool to do, and like it always sort of seems to bring out a lot of new people that are interested in
different
being
crowds
part.
for sure.
Yeah, so this one is probably the first kids kind of one in a while. It's not so much a kids show though; it is a show about a child, but it's I think all ages.
Yeah,
it does get a little scary here and there. You know, there's mean
there's
mom
villains.
And mean mom, mean dad, mean teacher. But there's a nice teacher too, and like the story of Matilda, she's just so resilient and just such a powerful character and such an icon.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How did they decide which production to do? Like, is it a team effort, or do you go to them and say, hey, I'd like to try this?
Well, Clint Hames can be blamed for this entirely. Yes, so he asked me out for lunch, and he said, we're thinking of doing a musical again. What would you want to do? And I threw a couple things at him, and he said, what about Matilda? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And the Chilliwack School of Performing Arts did it a while ago, and you kind of have to make sure that you don't do things too often, and it had been long enough. So we were like, no, it's been long enough, and different kind of cast too. And SOPA does stuff. It's all sort of students in their range, and this has got, I think our oldest cast member is probably in their 70s, and our youngest one is around like 9 years old, 9, 10.
And how many are in the cast?
Around, I think it's 33 or 32.
Wow.
I keep kind of getting it wrong, but it's around there. Yeah, it's a lot. We maxed out the microphones that you could use in the cultural center. Yeah.
And this will be on the main stage?
Yeah, it's on the hub stage. We're opening up the orchestra pit, which is really fun because it doesn't happen very often. It's kind of a pain in the butt to open up the orchestra pit. So if anyone wants to sponsor a newer orchestra pit, that'd be great. But yeah, you have to take about 4 hours and people taking it all apart and putting it back together. But the experience, I've been in shows. We did Drowsy Chaperone there years ago. And the experience of having the orchestra in front of you as an actor is so good. And from a sound point of view too, the balancing of the sound is so much easier when the orchestra's in the pit. So I'm really excited.
And you're 33, 32, does that include the orchestra too? Or is
No.
that
That's
more?
just on stage.
The program's going to be really thick.
Yeah, we're doing like a group shot. And then if you can scan the online program, there'll be individuals. Yeah.
Awesome.
But we had to think, how are we going to make this program? Yeah, there's a lot of people. I think there's, I gotta ask Trisha Bueller, our amazing musical director, knows how many. I think it's around like 8 to 10 people in the orchestra, somewhere around there. Yeah. So.
And things are coming together.
Yes.
When is opening night?
Opening night is the 24th.
So
yes.
Sleeps are counting down.
Yes, the 24th, 7:30 p.m. at the Cultural Centre. We move into the Cultural Centre on the 19th with all of our stuff. And the beautiful set that Graham has built, Graham Archer, who's, I think he just passed like 100 sets that he's made in his career as a theater person. And he has done some amazing things. There's a chalkboard magic trick that Graham has built something really, really cool for. I don't want to give too much away, but it looks amazing. And the cast saw it during a run through the other day and they were all like, so yeah, it's really, really
special
cool.
effects, sound, and all that fun stuff.
Have, what do we have? We have a cake special effect.
Oh.
Bruce eats a cake. And where does it go? And then we also have a remote control special effect of some kind that I don't want to give too much away either. But there's some magic where if you've read the book, you know what Matilda can do. So we are achieving that with some remote control things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about the show that I haven't covered yet?
Man, the cast is so amazing. The girl playing Matilda, Piper, is amazing. All the little kids that have come out. There are so many kids in this show who have never done any theater before.
That's sometimes difficult.
Yeah, or it's their first musical, and they're all doing such a good job. My choreographer, Pauline Janowski, has really put together some pretty challenging choreography for these little kids to do, and they're all really rising to the challenge. And then we have a sort of big kids cast. It's all people in like their 20s and 30s. They're playing the 7-year-olds. Well, all my like 10, 11, 12-year-olds are playing the 5-year-olds. And they're doing amazing as well. Yeah. So just, awesome. and then the featured cast, the Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood, are amazing. Deanne is playing Trunchbull, and she is doing such a good job. So yeah, I'm over the moon. It's really, it's all starting to come together, and I'm super awesome. Happy with it all. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you could take the time to come in and share a little bit about it all. And when are tickets on sale?
Tickets are on sale right now.
And you can get them at?
chillwackculturalcentre.ca, or you can call 604-791-3469. I think 791-SHOW. Yeah. Oh no, 391.
391.
You can call 604-391-7469.
Perfect.
There we go.
Thank you so much for being here. And everybody, go see it. It's going to be amazing. Thanks. Hello, today we are interviewing Nicholas Chester from Unity Christian. Nicholas has been doing a special project with us this week. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me here, Cari. And so I'm doing this thing for Career Ed class, and Career Ed is just like this province-wide thing we do in school where basically we just try and like look into our future careers and like learn about future careers and sort of
what you want to be,
what I want to be, all that stuff. So yeah, we had this special project. Every year we sort of do a massive, big project, and this year it was job shadow, right? Okay. So we have to go into somebody else's job to sort of shadow them, see what they do, see how they do it, right? And
so you've been shadowing Barris.
I've been shadowing Barris at chillTV, and yeah, it's just been a good experience. I kind of heard of him from a friend, family friend. They were filming one of their shows here, Life Outside the Box, I think it's called. So yeah, I just got sort of told about him. And,
So how did you decide on if you're going to be in front of the camera, editing? Like, did you want to learn it all?
I sort of wanted to learn everything, to be honest. Because like I love being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's your favorite part?
It is, but I also love the editing too. Like just the just everything. Yeah.
Learning how it all works.
Yeah.
So does everybody do the same project, or do they have different mediums that they do? How do they decide where they go?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So you can just choose anything you want to, basically. Okay. So I choose this, right? Some people chose police officer. You know, there were some
ride-arounds,
crazy stories on that for sure. But yeah, you can choose any job really. So you just shadow them, see what they do, and then we present, sort of like a science fair, but not really. You just got a big poster, just talk about your experience.
So you're going to put yours on a little laptop and show everybody?
Yeah, hopefully I'll use this, you know. Yeah. I'm basically famous now. So
you are basically famous. You'll have to fight the people back.
That's true, I will.
Yeah. And do you think this is going to be something you'd like to continue?
Well, you know, I do have 60 hours of volunteer work that I need to do for our school. Our school is kind of strict on volunteer hours, right? So, you know, I have 60 hours I need to do, and I think this would be a good spot to do it, to be honest.
So when do you think you'll finally decide? Like once you graduate, or have you got an agent yet? Do you want to go into this sort of career? Has this changed your mind at all?
it's just been a good experience, I think. So I'll see. I might want to get into sort of media, business, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Whenever somebody asks me that question, it's always difficult because there's so many possibilities, and it's just hard to know.
And with this project, hopefully you've seen the different, like the editing and the writing the script and all the background stuff that you wouldn't have thought about before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many things that are just so different than what you think, right? Reading a teleprompter is one of them, though. Like, first time I sat down, I was like, he was just like, okay, you're going to read the teleprompter, Barris said.
Yeah.
I was like, that's easy, like, I've done some acting before. It's going to be so easy, right? You just read it. And I was like,
tripping over your words.
The skate park is, right? Like, I just didn't know what to do. It's hard when you don't know, right?
Yeah.
There's a certain way to do things. There's a certain way to read it.
The cadence, and you have to be slow and clear and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But it was fun. It was a good experience to learn how to do this.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Let's take this opportunity to actually let it roll.
All right.
Being young is hard. Trust me, I know. Not only can it be tough most of the time, but it can also be boring a lot of the time. But thankfully, Chilliwack has a lot of things that you can do to make things a little less boring. My name's Nicholas Chester, and I'm here as your tour guide. I'm going to give you 4 things to do around Chilliwack for teens. And first is the Chilliwack Landing skate park that I used to go to. It's great if you love that kind of stuff, and trust me, it's easily the best skate park for terrain with a full-blown pump track. You can also bring bikes, scooters, and other things. The skate park is located at 9145 Corbould, right around the Chilliwack Landing. Now, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone who doesn't have any experience in this because some of the stuff is very difficult. And I would advise you to stay out of the pump track if you're inexperienced. I remember I had a bad fall on that track when I was maybe 8 years old, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't go back for a long time, so if you want something a little bit more relaxed, go to Chili Bowl, Chilliwack's bowling alley. It's perfect if you want something less extreme and just some good times with friends. Now, I'm terrible at bowling, so I can't say more about that, but it's the experience that counts. And if you want a similar experience, go to the movie theater. It's great. Go to Cineplex 8249 at Eagle Landing, where you can see movies like Novocaine, The Working Man, and of course, Minecraft. Anyways, last but not least, summer is coming around in Chilliwack, and there's no better place in summer than Cultus Lake, especially Cultus Lake Water Park. It's the best water park in BC by far, and it's got things to make everyone entertained. And it's also got Giggle Ridge right across from it, so if you're there with family or have younger kids, it's a great option. Thanks for watching this segment of Teenage Tour Guide. We'll see you around town. And make sure to tune in for next week's segment about events in the downtown area. See you later.
Well, those were some fun interviews. Lots of fun. I learned a lot about all 3 of them. Nicholas, so young and amazing.
Keener, which is great. We love those. I wonder, will we be seeing him at the Chilliwack Film Festival?
I don't know. Hopefully he gets in there for sure. He also has, mentioned that he wants to come and do a recurring role. So maybe he'll bring the audience of the younger viewership in. That might be kind of fun.
Target demographic.
Lower it. Whole other demographic.
Yeah.
Older white lady. Yeah. There's a Matilda.
Okay.
And it's going to be fun.
And I'm so excited. And Emily always does such a great job at sharing the news and what's coming up. So I'm definitely going to go see it probably this weekend. Yeah. I think this weekend, if not. I'm
definitely going next weekend.
Okay.
I'll tell you in a bit about all the things I have planned for sure. And Dana Martin. The Soroptomists are so amazing. And that program, they just need to get more clients. And the clients are out there. So
yeah. Well, and such a great piece of work. Just more people need to know about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So things that are happening this weekend, what are you up to?
Well, this weekend tonight I'm going to Shrek again.
Again?
Went last weekend.
That's great.
Very fun. My son was amazing. So they're wrapping it up this weekend.
That's at the Abbotsford Arts Centre until the 26th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic.
Chilliwack. We got to say Matilda the musical started last night, so that's at the Cultural Centre.
Yeah, Chilliwack Cultural Centre.
This
Chilliwack
weekend
Players Guild?
and next weekend, so I'm definitely going next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the Chilliwack Cultural Centre, also the Improv Comedy Rumble.
On Friday night, which is tonight.
Yeah, and so just pointing out as well, the memberships are open for the Chilliwack Cultural Centre, so people who have memberships get discounts.
Yeah.
Just saying. And then Langley.
May 31st, Fraser Valley Wine Passport. I checked this out, and for $25, you go to 12 different wineries.
You get to taste
I need a
choose-
designated driver.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
give me a call.
Should be fun.
And then mission. So a little niche. There's an invitation for artistic collaboration with, with Francophones.
Yes.
50 plus. For the spring 2025. And I think it's pinhole cameras. Have you ever?
Yes.
Really, really cool. But it's going to be a collaborative art piece. And they're looking for people Saturday, April 26th. So if you're francophone or francophile, 1 to 3 p.m., check it out.
Yes. Now the thing is, starting on Sunday is National Volunteer Week, all week long. So make sure you thank your volunteers. All of our communities could not function without them. So
Yeah, lots of great opportunities to volunteer in community, and volunteers are what keep everything going. So thank you for your work, and if you're interested, just ask around.
yeah,
and
check
there are
out Volunteer
opportunities.
Fraser Valley. Yeah.
Volunteer Fraser Valley.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Well, I think it's probably time for everyone to start getting ready for work.
All right, well, thanks for watching Daybreak, and don't forget to vote if you haven't already. On Monday, April 28th, your voice counts, and you want it to in this very important election.
For sure. And next week, we're thrilled to have former Chilliwack mayor, rock guitarist, writer, director, and political MC, host and guru, Clint Hames as our guest.
Well, that's fantastic. All right. Well, it's going to be a great week and a great weekend. Have an amazing Fraser Valley weekend.